surprised Caleb didn't play in the preseason.
Listen, you guys know my stance, which is every team should be like, hey, what do the Chiefs do? We'll do that. How does Andy Reid run camp? What does he do in preseason? We'll do that. This is the same way teams should have mimicked the trade down in the draft with the Patriots' success of 20 years. The Chiefs get off to fast starts. They're the best coach in football. So in general, I would think play your guys. This, however, to me, with that said, when Ben Johnson has decided, and this is why I thought this was a nothing story, he did not play any of his starting offensive line, his starting receivers, his starting tight end, or his starting running back. Once you make that decision, playing the starting quarterback would be asinine. Now, you could have said, again, done the opposite. Mahomes threw one pass in his games. Not he played a lot, but Drake May, your guy, threw 5 passes. The one to the other team backwards over his head. But it is what it is. I didn't need them to play this for us, but this is what Wilds wanted to see from Caleb. We missed out on that.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm glad he got this out of the system. And I'm glad Vrabel lit him up.
Yeah.
Because if this happened game 1, like he said, there's no better practice than live bullets. This was a dumb play that's not happening in practice.
But so here's my question to you, because I think you probably have the biggest issue of this with anyone. If after 2 preseason games, Caleb has played the same amount of preseason snaps as Drake May, except meaning he just plays longer in week 2 than Drake in week 1. Does that make this a wash to you? Is that then okay in your mind?
I would defer to coach.
When we had 4 preseason games, usually you'd go a drive, then the second game you'd get a quarter, third game you'd get a half, fourth game some people would put guys in for a drive, the starters in for a drive, some people wouldn't play them at all. Now with 3, you would think it would go 1 quarter in the first game, half the second game, and not play him in the third game. But I would imagine for Ben Johnson, at this point, you want to do everything you can so when Caleb shows up in the system, he pops.
Right.
And so to get him another week of preparation, to get the whole group working together for another week before you put him out there, that to me makes a lot of sense, because you want Caleb to have confidence in the system after he goes and plays a little bit, and you want everybody around him to have confidence in the system when he goes and plays a little bit. So to give him another week to do that, that makes sense to me. I get why you would do that, but I do think he needs to play some in the preseason, because the intensity of going from practice to a regular season game without any preseason exposure, it's a pretty gigantic jump.
Yeah, I'm with you, Coach, in that part of me feels like they didn't put him out there because he's not quite ready. Like, he's got a lot to learn. He's a whole new system with Ben Johnson. We know he has to play differently and all that. And I don't think they wanted to put him out there. Now, I'm just speculating. But it feels like they didn't want him to go out there and not play well. That would have been a PR nightmare, And so, look, to each team its own. I think they should have played him, and certainly should play him in the next game with the starters. But I wonder if that's the reason they didn't, because he hasn't really looked great yet.
Yeah. So I pretty much said what Mangini said, but hours before, because I did this, with the herd and stuff. Listen, in many aspects of life, in coaching, health, honestly, in every category, there's always these formulas. There's always these kind of algorithms that we can use to kind of put ourselves in more favorable situations. Right? Things can become formulaic. But it's not always copy and paste. So saying that there's one true way to do something, it doesn't really make sense. It's just not how it works. If every team tried to copy the Kansas City Chiefs or the New England Patriots, as Nick is suggesting, they probably wouldn't be very successful, because they don't have Andy Reid, because they don't have Bill Belichick, because they don't have Tom Brady, and they don't have Patrick Mahomes. So that doesn't make sense. So if Andy Reid, let's say, was notorious every single year, he traded, and this is a made-up example, obviously, but he traded his first-round pick every single year and got multiple second and third round picks. That's what he does. He goes, I don't need first round picks. And everyone's like, we should do that too. We should do that too. It's like, no. Andy Reid does that because he's able to find the most amazing second and third round picks, and that he's able to get star. You can't do that because you don't have Andy Reid, or you don't have the quarterback that elevates that second round wide receiver, third round running back to, this or that. Or you're able to find the one offensive lineman in the fourth round that can actually become a starter and a Pro Bowler. Your teams don't have that ability. You need to take the lower hanging fruit. And again, this is a made up example because I'm just trying to paint as clear of a picture as possible. And when you use extreme examples, that's how you paint pictures. That's why, we have metaphors. But so this idea that you could just copy and paste of greatness, like, no. If you try to copy a workout routine of LeBron James, it will break you. It will literally, you lack the ability to work out as intensely and to recover at the rate and the ability of that of LeBron James. So you should, everyone should just copy what LeBron does. His body's great and he's so big and strong and that's like, yeah, good luck with that. People try to do that in the weight training circles for powerlifting and bodybuilding. It doesn't work out for them. But with that said, we do know that there is a structure. We do know, well, typically when you do 3 sets of 10, 3 days a week, every other day, that's really shown to increase strength and muscle growth. So it's like you have kind of this skeleton here to kind of work off of. And so that's what Ben Johnson is doing. Ben Johnson has his own approach right now. He knows where his team is and isn't. And he's waiting. And that's what Mangini's saying. It's just like, yeah, you would like to have them all out there, have the starters out there, et cetera, et cetera. But he's like pretty much thinking like, my team's not ready yet, and I'm not going to do that to them right now. I'm going to be smart. I'm going to give myself a week and have the confidence to be able to do that is actually awesome. So many coaches make decisions based off of insecurity. Make no mistake about it. And a lack of confidence or an overcompensation. You see so much overcompensation. Maybe the coach in Dallas. You see a lot of overcompensation. A lot. I mean, there's a lot of fragile egos. A lot of fragile egos. A lot of big, grandiose egos as well. And Ben Johnson just reached a conclusion. I'm not doing it. I don't care what the Kansas City Chiefs are doing right now. I don't care that J.J. McCarthy had a drive or two. I don't care. What does that have to do with me? What does that have to do with my team, my program, my quarterback, my offense? I don't care. And it's great. Because there's other people that would have done it. They would have said, "Oh, what's so and so do? What did they? Oh, Vrabel is oh man, he's taking over for Drake May, and Drake May is starting. God, what is everyone gonna say? What's the media? The media. What's the media gonna say? What are they gonna say on First Things First? They're gonna say that Caleb Williams didn't play. What do I do? I should just start him. No, he's controlling the team how he wants to control the team. And that's totally fine. And even having this team not 100% up to speed right now is totally okay. It's a brand new coach, brand new system, brand new everything. Ben Johnson had to go in there and pretty much say, forget everything you've never known. It's like a sales seminar. Forget everything you've ever known about real estate. Like, it's just he's had to literally hit the reset button. And that's what he's doing there, and there's nothing wrong with that. And it's going to take a second or two. And it's smart. It's smart if his conclusion is, my team's not ready yet. So why am I going to put them out in a preseason game right now? I don't want that. I want to make sure that when we step foot on the field, we're playing at our best. I want another week of practice. And that's totally okay. That's totally okay. And understandable considering what Ben Johnson is demanding and what kind of offense he's looking to build here. A very high level, highly intelligent offense where everyone needs to understand their objective. Everyone needs to understand where I need to be and when and why and how. And I got to do it at a high level. And so it's just gonna take a second. I mean, it's just, and I would have loved to see Caleb Williams play. But you know what? Caleb Williams played in the preseason game before, and he had a couple nice plays, and everyone lost their mind. And I highlighted this recently because, Bill Belichick was like, meh, I'm not impressed. Why do you leave the pocket? What are you doing? And everyone was like, he's such a hater. He's such a hater. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And yet, Caleb Williams played in the preseason. He looked ready. He looked awesome. He looked great. Let's do it. Let's party. Not how the season unfolded. Not how the season unfolded at all. And this is what I keep trying to point out. And I did this in my Shedeur Sanders video, and they loved it, by the way. But, like, you got undrafted rookies balling in preseason. What does that mean? I don't think anyone actually knows anymore. Honestly, seriously. The Patriots undrafted rookie balled. Okay? He was cooking. What does that mean to anyone? I want to know at this point. Like, what does that mean? I'm not even confident anymore. I'm really not. I saw Tanner McKee ball and throw, like, again, I try to look at just the actual fundamentals. I try to just be like, I've never seen this quarterback play ever in my life. What do I see? No matter who it is, right? Whether it's a Mahomes, a Josh Allen, like, I just look at it through this very narrow lens and be like, what do I see? I'm trying to not factor in, are the starters playing? Are they not starters? First, I just look, what do I see? And then I say, okay, were the starters playing? What was the O-line? Where were they at in the field? What was the coach asking the quarterback to do? The types of throws he was making, the type of reads he was making, his progressions. How good was the defense? When he had a big play, was it because the defense is just like slow and not that good? Or did he thread the needle? Was it a nice, beautiful layered throw? Anticipate, like, you kind of have to go through the steps. Really narrow, and then little by little expand outwards. And that's why it's, like, not the easiest thing to just draw conclusions from preseason games. Because it's just kind of like, it's in a lot of ways, it's a lot harder. I mean, it really is. I mean, you're really trying, like, Colin's like, whoa, when you're playing with backups, put it in perspective because, yeah, you're going up against backups, but you're playing with backups too. And it's like, well, I don't know if that's really the way to look at it either, honestly. I really don't. So it is interesting to see people. I feel like more recently we've taken preseasons. I don't know. It seems like I feel like I used to just really live in a football world where preseason was just like, it's just preseason. It doesn't matter what the heck happens there. Now it feels like people are treating preseason like very seriously in terms of the conclusions that we can draw, who's playing, who's not playing. I don't know when that happened. If someone has an idea of when this like shift kind of changed, please let me know. But like for me, it was like, I mean, before I was obviously really diving into all this stuff as deeply, it's like, I just straight up skipped preseason. I mean, it was just like, oh, who cares? And like now, the older I get, I can find more interesting stories. Like I do find it interesting to see like a Tanner McKee play, a Shedeur Sanders play. Oh, JJ McCarthy was injured. Now this is his first time back after missing a whole year. Like, right, I can find those stories, but when I'm trying to look at it from a more practical, more like grounded, more like how do I really feel about this and not just entertainment, because to be clear, like those other things are just entertainment. I'm like, what are my takes here? How do I feel? What are my conclusions? It's just like, you kind of feel backed in a corner, but like not in the fun way, not in the kind of like, what does all this mean? And we're going to back ourselves in the corner for the sake of a good conversation. It's like, no, trying to reach conclusions about something like this actually matters. Right. And so it's just like, I want to be as accurate as possible. So, I mean, it is fascinating to see everyone kind of jump on one side or the other, because you'll have people be like, why did Shedeur play, but Caleb didn't? Why did Jordan Love play, but Caleb didn't? Why did JJ McCarthy play, but Jordan Love didn't? Patrick Mahomes had one pass. And it's like, okay. So I guess that's what every team should do then. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jalen, it's like every quarterback in the NFL should just have one pass. And that's it. And then like take them out of the game. It's like, that's the way to go? Like, not so sure that's the case either. So this is where you have to just have trust in Ben Johnson's approach. That's what it really comes down to. You got to just have trust. That's why you hired him. Let him control the decisions. Teams typically play a lot better when it's run by an actual high-level coach. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Caleb Williams not playing with the Chicago Bears and Ben Johnson's explanation for it? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.